Lena, someone talked about you in a previous episode, and they were like, I think it was you, Kristen, and you're like, Lena, you're going to convince someone no matter what and just
That's right.
find a way to convince
If you
them
come
to
in her
go and
room,
do
she's waxing something.
And then you said something real funny of like waxing butts or something. That, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, stop. And I love that dynamic. I thought it would be funny on a show and be successful. So that was part of what I saw too was your mother-daughter relationship. So the waxing the hands, yeah, what you said that was a convincing factor was it'd make good...
Hey guys, welcome back to the AA Skin Babes pod. I'm Lena, licensed esthetician, and I'm here with Heather Taylor, who's a nurse injector, Kristen Samborn, who's licensed esthetician, and we have a new face actually in front of the camera with us this time.
Instead of sitting behind it.
This is our producer, Jared.
Yay!
Yo, what's up? JT here.
And we are going to do a very fun view into how this whole podcast even happened. So let's get glowing.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I think it's really awesome. And it's weird because I know that a lot of your audience knows nothing about me, but I feel like I know them.
Aw.
So, and I feel like I really know you all real well too. But let's just get going because
I feel like we've gotten really close in the time we've spent together.
it's really awesome. I love this.
I know he has learned things that I don't think he really wanted to learn, especially when it's off camera.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness he doesn't post all the bloopers.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I do have a bloopers folder. I'm building
Oh
it
my
up.
gosh. Okay, so let's get started here. Jared, so let's start. Did Kristen reach out to you, or was it like how did we get with JT Visual?
I had a client and we were talking. I was like, I am so inept at making videos for our social media and I need some help. And she's like, well, here's the guy to call and talk to him and he can help you with your videos. And so I reached out to him and I was like, okay, I need some video help. And then I kind of looked at his website and found out that he did other stuff. And so what did I do? I text or
So
called
you
or
looked
something.
at the website first. Nice.
I did look at the website first.
Did you watch a video first or just see that there were videos?
I saw that there were videos.
And
I wasn't
there
sure
was
how to
a
turn
website.
Well, no, yeah, like,
I wasn't
Well,
sure
he's
how
legit. He's got a website.
well, I'm always curious though, because like how it works.
I did watch one of your videos and it was really good. I'm like, wow, this is really good. If I could at least make, a 5-second video that was as good as his videos, then we would really be on to something.
Well, besides that, how did AA Skin Babes podcast come out? Like, was that your idea or was that his idea?
No, I think that happened when you came to meet
That
us.
was our strategy session.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I know that you passed around a little bit of the girls have been talking. They really would like to do a podcast and this. And like you kind of put all the cards on the table
Mhm.
and then you're like, we just need help. And I was like, okay, let's do a strategy session. Let's sign on. And then you guys said, yeah, we're going to think about this. And then I got an email like an hour later. Hey, done. We just want to go. We want to do it. We got to make it work.
Well, it's
that
one of
was
those
awesome.
things where, when all the cards lined up right, Jared came to visit us. He saw the craziness that we are.
And we just happened to all
And
be there at the same
we
day.
didn't freak him
and-
out.
Yeah.
And he kind of rolled
Okay,
with
hold
it.
on. Talking about that,
Oh,
do you
gosh.
remember the first time you came
Yeah.
and we all had that big meeting?
Yes.
I have two aspects of this. One, what did you think when a med spa reached out to you? Were you kind of like, I've
Yes.
never done that before, but
Okay, here's the truth, okay? People like to feel like they're known, but from my perspective, all the formulas, all of the templates, all of the methods, all of the marketing, I know how to be so dynamic for whatever it is, but I don't always like the client to know that, so I don't say it yet until whatever, and I'll learn to get to know you. And then I found that to actually be better anyways, because then you're curious about the business and you kind of get more about an audience perspective than the expert perspective, because you got to know who you're speaking to. But yeah, I knew nothing about what a med spa was. I was like, oh yeah, they do massages, I think, because that's who that person that referred said. And I knew some other things, and I've heard the terms like lip injection and all this stuff, but I had no idea like what it really was and everything. But it's very fascinating to get to know you guys as people.
Did you think we'd be boring? when you came in? Did you think that we'd be boring?
Or do you think there's like a
and
certain set, like
not
this is
fun?
only going to go this far? Like this is what I think.
I have a
or...
neutral. I always go in with a neutral, and I'm open minded because I'm actually an ambivert, so like not extroverted but not introverted. It's like right in the middle. But I think I've grown to be extroverted because of church. I grew up in the church world, and I had to talk a lot, and then running a business now.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to be extroverted, and I think
I say your business that you are running is probably the most extroverted business you can get
Yeah.
into.
yeah, at least going out there and everything. But at the same time,
But
no,
he's behind
like
the camera too.
if you think
you
of your
know?
average camera guru or tech guy, like they're not very extroverted.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that was a bit of a difference there. There are a lot of really good ones that are extroverted. But anyways, so yeah, I went in neutral, like open-ended, what to expect. And you guys surpassed those expectations because I actually like the wild. I like a little bit of chaos, like...
Okay, bringing that back. When you first came to the spa to meet all of us and have our first initial meeting with all of us, what was your
Because I think the
take
ones
on
that
it?
was there was Heather,
me?
Lena, I, and Mr. Eric.
Eric.
I just knew there were
Mhm.
several. I met
Mhm.
Eric and I met Kristen.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
And then I just knew other people were there.
Yep.
I kind of checked out the website and saw that you did have a large team, and it's like, oh, this will be fun. And then we went in and had that meeting, and I just, for those strategy sessions too, it's like just listen, and that was like the huge deal, and which is funny because
I say,
as a
I remember that
business-
strategy session, and I remember it being pretty entertaining.
It was
then
I
what do
also
you
ripped
remember?
a bunch of hair out of his arm. No, his hand.
oh yeah, okay. So at the end of it, it was like, there's hand on your hand, or there's hair on your hands. You need. They actually still kind of look.
Well, because he didn't
But-
believe me that I said waxing's not as bad as what you said
Mhm.
or what you think it is. And he's like, there's no way. I said, okay, well, let's wax your hand then. And we did.
No, but you had a convincing factor.
I don't remember what I said
Okay,
word
well,
for word.
Someone
I
in
say
a,
a
in a
lot of
previous
things.
in a previous episode, even I remember you said, someone said, Kristen's good. Or sorry, man, I'm getting the. Sorry,
Lena.
guys. I just had a baby, 2 weeks.
He's
Sleep
running on a
deprived.
little bit of sleep and a whole lot of caffeine.
A lo-
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm working on it. But anyways, Lena was someone talked about you in a previous episode, and they were like, I think it was you, Kristen, and you're like, Lena, you're gonna convince someone no matter what, and just
That's right.
find a way to
If
convince
you
I
them
come
said
to
in
her
her
go and
room,
do
she's
a.
waxing
Yeah,
something.
And then
yeah.
you said something real funny of like waxing butts or something. That, I
Uh-huh.
don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like,
Mhm.
stop. And I love that dynamic. I thought it would be funny on a show and be successful. So that was part of what I saw too, was your mother-daughter relationship. And then other people was a bonus as we go.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, where was I going? I kind of like
the whole
trailed.
waxing your hand.
So the waxing the hands, yeah. What you said that was a convincing factor was it'd make good content.
Okay, I do remember
it
that.
did
We
make good
videoed it.
content.
And,
So we videoed, yeah.
And then I remember you saying like, we were having a serious talk, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Do you guys like pizza?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like pizza?" And you're like, "Let's order pizza." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
I think he was coming into more of a. We are professional at work, but I think he thought he was coming into more of a professional setting, and
Like
we
a
were gonna
doctor's
be,
office.
Yeah, and he
Like
gets
very
in there, and we're
sterile.
just us.
Stoic.
No.
No, you was
No, I am a tester of character though. So I always try to break down people to get them not to be so salesy. Like if they're
Uh-huh.
making a pitch, to try to see if there's a real person that actually believes in the product and everything. But for you guys, I didn't have to at all. I just had to breathe.
I think we were trying to educate you so that you would have something
Uh-huh.
in mind. When we talked about full body waxing, his eyes just kind of kept getting bigger and bigger, and like,
Like you can
"Really
wax
do
what?
that?
Yeah.
You wax that?
I've heard of a Brazilian. What's that? And someone's like, look it up. And I'm like, no, I know what it is.
And okay, so where did the Skin Babes Unfiltered come from? Like we kind of
We were talking about
The
names. I
name.
love titling. And but what's funny is we came up and we were brainstorming, and there's no bad ideas in a brainstorm. If you say no right away, it doesn't work for a good brainstorm. But anyway, something resonated, and it was the Skin Babes, and then you said unfiltered or something. I was just kind of
I say,
hearing
we
you guys
had-
talk.
we had a failed YouTube. It wasn't failed. It just didn't continue. YouTube adventure I thought I wanted to do, but then I was like, I can't edit. This is a lot of work and I don't want to do this anymore. And
Mm.
it was originally Skin Babes
Mhm.
something.
Was it uncensored?
Uncensored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's where like the Skin Babes idea came from.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it was, Mom was like, we're going to be professional in this. And Jared's like, no,
No,
we're doing something else. Because I think after Jared met me, he was like, no, we can't filter
Well, after
her.
you harassed the UPS, poor Johnny, the UPS
Oh, you were
guy.
there for that.
Yes.
Shout
Yep.
out to Johnny, our UPS guy. He has gorgeous legs, and I am begging him for a year now to let me wax them because it makes
Are
me
they
even prettier.
gorgeous legs without waxing them though?
Yes. Okay, this
Okay.
man has gorgeous legs. And he gets, okay, but I comment on it
The
because
calf, man. That's that.
it is. It's huge. It's like perfect. Anyway.
the shape of it.
Anyway, Johnny, he's very
You sound like my wife
shy.
with veins.
Okay.
My wife's
Is
a
she
nurse.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Johnny is very shy. Okay.
And
And he's a
we've
big,
had-
burly man. Like,
Yeah.
he's a man.
We've had Johnny, oh gosh, years. He's been our UPS guy. So he's gotten to know all of us.
Well, the
and-
very first time I said anything about his legs, okay, he came in and I've seen him a couple times, but I was like, Johnny, you have really nice legs, and he got, I mean, beat red. This man is huge. He's like 6 something. He's big, beefy. He's got the whole beard like he's a man, and he gets and he
You hear
He's
that?
gonna listen to this and he's gonna come in saying, I'm a
He's
man.
going to be so embarrassed.
He doesn't ever talk about it. Well, now he does. He makes comment. It took a couple months before he made comment back, not just he gets beat red when I talk about his legs. But the first time he was in, the second time I screamed it across the square because I saw him when I was leaving. I was like, nice legs, Johnny. And I just saw his face light up from there. I was
Lena's all about the shock
this
factor.
man is
Yeah.
so embarrassed and I love it. I can't
No
do anything
filter
about
this
it.
one.
See, so you kind of like interrupting people or disrupting
Oh,
character to test and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
bit.
Hey, well, that was part of the title to kind of bring it back to that was
Uh-huh.
like the unfiltered and calling it Skin Babes. I was like, I think this actually could work because it's disruptive enough while still having meaning behind it.
Mhm.
Because I had no idea until I started looking into it, but Skin Babes is like a thing that people say in your
Mhm.
world.
And filtered, people filter their pictures, which we don't agree with. You know, we want your skin looking gorgeous and natural in its own setting and not
They want skin so good
that they
that
have
you
to put
don't
a
have to
filter.
put a
Use a
filter
filter.
on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
I say
Yeah.
there's kind of a double meaning to our unfiltered.
It is.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, it's that and it's like, hey, we're going to let it out.
We want to be
You
real.
need to be real.
Yeah.
You need to be organic. People are tired of the same thing. And so if you just try to do the same thing to reach different people, you got to do something different.
Like, this is our 100% honest opinion about what we are talking about at this point in time.
Right.
Well, and I think sometimes your clients, they want to know you before you come in.
Sure.
And, you know, they want to make a decision on your personality, whether your personality is going to match theirs or whether they want a more serious type of practice. But we just have fun. We have new clients coming in all the time, and we are still accepting new clients.
Yeah.
And we're just fun, and we care. And that's
Yeah.
the thing is I will be texting you the day after, and we really care about our clients, and we want you to get to know us. And if you don't like our personalities, then it doesn't bother us if you decide to go
And
somewhere
we have
else.
several personalities in here, and that's kind of why the podcast
True.
has been so great. We have several
Yeah.
personalities. Our clients can kind of be like, ooh, I don't know if I get well with her.
I don't know
and
if I
so
can
she-
handle Lena's mouth. Let's just be honest.
So if you really want to like we're also recording this on TikTok live right now on your page.
No, on the AA Skin Babes TikTok.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
So awesome. And through that, I don't know what I was going at. I just hit a wall again.
Is there something that, like, since we've been doing this, like, what's something you've learned
Yeah.
from us, would you say?
I keep hitting my microphone.
Putting you on the spot now.
Yeah, I know. I think I've learned enough to be curious
Yeah.
and to make keywords based on things.
Yeah.
And then
But, like, if your wife were to come to you and be like, you know, I would like
I
to
just had
go
a
there.
baby, and I really need you to take the baby, and I go and have a
Yes.
spa day.
Then you kind of have an understanding of some things that she could do.
I want to say you all are really inspiring to make me want to treat my wife even
Aw.
better. I know that I don't like mistreat her or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, that's coming from me. You got to hear her say it, but but yeah, and she means the world to me. Seriously, like without her, this business wouldn't even be going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But hearing your perspective, it gives me more ideas to be able to have ability to go and treat her or something,
Uh-huh.
which I would love to do. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, because
But
we
I know for sure, like something with like I'm kind of curious.
And it kind of opens your eyes to like what we girls want
Yeah.
and love. Like, you know, men don't give a damn about skincare and why do you need to go do this? You look this is what mine says. You look
Yes.
great. Well, you don't need to go get a
Yes.
facial. You don't need to go get this done. You look beautiful as you are.
You're
Okay.
perfect the way you are.
But now
Yes.
I don't think you expected it to be the way it is working with all women. Like mostly we're all women. I don't have we have another man on our nope, we
Nope,
haven't.
no.
Eric
Nope,
hasn't
Mr.
even came on
we got to
yet.
get Mr. Eric on at some
It's all
point in
girls.
time.
Yep.
So you
This is getting touchy.
you've been working with just girls. And it showed, like, were you expecting it to go the way it is, working with just
Or
girls?
did
Were you
you think
expecting
that
it to
we
be
would-
a little bit more?
I love the reactions of people when I say I'm producing for the Skin Babes. They're like, "What?" If
What
they're
is
not
that?
in the like the skincare world, then they think it's like some sort of
Porn.
You can't say porn.
it's corn.
It's corn.
Okay,
On
corn.
social media, corn. We're going to have to bleep that with our little logo. We're getting kicked off YouTube.
But yeah,
Well, that's
it's
what your brother asked me, and I'm like, no, guys, no.
That's not
That-
what
you
skin
That's
said
what
babes
they
that.
thought it
Yeah.
was.
but we did get that out of the way
Oh
before we
my
decided,
gosh.
and
I did ask that
Yes.
question when we
Oh,
started
I do
out.
remember
Yes,
that. I
you did
do
bring that up.
remember that. Yep.
That
Yeah.
will people think that this is something that it's not?
I don't think so.
I don't think we've gotten that reaction at
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
One little
No.
bit.
Okay.
I think maybe more like models
Yes.
in magazines.
Have
And
you ever gone to? Okay, this is just have you ever gone to Google something and you put in the wrong word
Oh, yeah.
and it was just like
Oh yeah.
I didn't
No.
know that was out
do you have
there.
safe search on?
No, how do you put safe search on? Because I need like the kitty search thing.
Yeah.
Don't search kitty. I'm just,
Oh.
If you listen to last week, do not search cream pie. Don't do it.
oh my goodness.
Oh, sorry.
But they're so good.
Oh my goodness.
That was the ugliest laugh I think I ever did. I'm like, oh
This
my
is
God.
all the other part of the unfiltered. It's like just being real.
Oh my God.
No.
I don't think my mom will listen to this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm
okay.
gonna send this to everyone.
Okay, moving on.
How do you get on track again?
we get off track so much.
But I bet the
Squirrel.
listeners like it. Hey, just like if you're there, say something. I'm giving up on you. Sorry, I thought of that song. Say something. I'm giving up on you. Leave a comment. Like, do you like those little tangents? Because to me, I love them because it feels more real and more
Yeah.
conversational. And that's just what we need more of in the world is just people just being real instead of trying to put on a filter.
And we really are not
You know?
scripted. I mean, we really do just kind of wing it.
And there's
Yeah.
times that we may say I'm menopausal, so sometimes my brain doesn't work, and sometimes I lose my words.
Yeah.
But
What does menopausal have to do with that?
oh my gosh, it's like brain fog. We're gonna have a hormone doctor.
We
on here.
are. Yeah. We're gonna.
And you young people are going
enlighten-
to understand exactly what we are going through.
Leave us a comment if you want us to bring on a hormone doctor. Like,
Yeah.
are you interested? We want to know. As our listeners, we want to know what you're interested in.
So
Sounds hormonally.
I'm
Good.
hormonally
Okay, and this is the thing
challenged.
with working with Jared. Sometimes he has the most dad puns ever.
I'm a dad times 3 now.
Well, yes, he had a
Yay.
baby. Well,
Yes.
you did and your wife
Yeah.
did, but you know.
Yeah, and dude, and hey, amongst women here, I'm gonna one up her real quick because she pulled out her baby from a C-section twice.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
I thought I was strong
Wow.
for pushing it out of my hoochie, but I'm props
So the
to
first,
her.
like, our first kid, she tried without all the Benadryl or not.
Benadryl.
That's all it takes. Oh, epidural and
little
all the
Tylenol.
stuff.
Fine.
Maybe she had that. I don't know. But she tried for like 12 hours or 18
Oh,
or something
gosh.
like that. It was so bad that I was starting to suffer from it too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then it just decided like emergent C-section. Like she's like, I just want the baby out. I just want the baby out. And I had to translate for her. So I was like, I looked at I think it was a nurse, and I was like, she wants the C-section.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we had a conversation before
Yeah.
so I could be that voice.
Yeah.
And then, they did that. And I was in the OR and got the video of that. And It was
That's
cool.
awesome.
And
Our
then,
UPS man may be a man, but your wife is a woman.
Yeah.
yeah, she is a whoa, man. That's why they call
we
her
want to
woman.
meet her sometime, so
Yes.
she's
I
gonna
know,
have to
I
come
want-
hang with us.
Oh, yeah,
And the
As much,
babies.
but I stalk Jared's or TikTok.
as you should.
She stalks everybody.
I do because I want to know. But then
It's
I think
public.
your wife follows me now. So
Oh, really?
yeah, and she commented on the TikTok of me waxing her hands, and she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Wife here, yeah, I didn't, or I did
Yeah,
notice,
wife
or
here,
something
and
like
I
that."
didn't.
I was like, "She's so sweet. I need to meet her. I might be a little much for her, but I need to meet her.
She does need, when she's, kind of through the postpartum stuff.
She
and
needs a spa day."
She does need a spa day.
Can she do any of that during?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like right now? Like
Yeah, she
she's
could.
2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
What's
Do you
the
want to deal with the
best?
baby? Your
The
baby's
baby,
sick.
I don't deal with the baby. I
no,
love the baby.
do you? Because she's gonna be there for an hour or two.
Well, if she feeds and then hands
Yeah.
the baby to me, then I can do everything
Well,
else.
you're better than my baby daddy. Calling Colin Stevens Morgan out right now.
Well, I
Kidding,
think
love you. You do great.
Yeah, I was like,
he waxes your butthole. I'm pretty sure he does pretty good.
He does. I did teach him how to be an expert waxer, and he does amazing.
Yeah.
it's like, I ain't trying to make a competition or anything. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Colin's pretty laid back. He's pretty cool about it. He knows I make fun of him all the time. And whenever you get to know me, you know he's got to be a very special person
Yeah.
to be with me.
Yes, he does.
That's rude.
No,
That's-
I mean, and
Love
we
you.
love you.
That's what my
We
wife
love
said
you.
before because we were
Yeah.
in the friend zone.
Uh-huh.
And so she's like, Jared, I can't wait to meet your future wife. She's got to be so special. Then I went to college. Then I came back. And then I was like, hey, you get me, right?
Let's get
Yeah.
married.
So
Hey.
I really married up. Like people say different league. It was like different sport. It was just,
Oh.
it was totally different. I think we're batting now the same, but it's because she brought me over to that better
Yeah.
sport.
I wish
That's
men
good.
would realize that more when they're marrying up. I feel like I'm a catch.
You are a catch. But he's a catch too.
He is sweet.
Yeah.
I don't
He's a
know him, so I
hard
can't speak for
worker.
him.
He's a good dad. He's
He
good
is
to
a very
you.
good dad.
Yeah.
And he comes and fixes our head spa bed whenever it
he's
breaks
our
down. So
maintenance
let's be
man
nice
when we
to
Oh,
need
there
a
you go.
maintenance man.
Yep.
He does a lot of work for us.
He does a lot. Yeah.
So
whenever we need a
don't
maintenance
piss him
man,
off,
he,
please,
Don't
Lena.
piss him off.
I think my mom likes him.
Yeah, because if I had to
Well,
choose,
that's
I'd
good.
keep him
I think
and
she'd
you'd go.
pick him over me. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. If you would like to be a sponsor of this podcast, there should be a Google form in the comment section below, and you fill it out, send that to us, and we will get back with you.
Okay, let's keep
Let's
going.
get back to our podcast. How
About
we became
skin.
Yeah, well,
About skin, yeah.
I mean, yeah, and how we became what we are, and best friends with Jared from JT Visual.
Are we best friends?
We are.
Nice.
Did we just become best friends?
Yes, stepbrothers.
I think we've been.
I mean,
best
what are you
friends
gonna tell
for a
me
while.
next? You like Elf or something?
Oh
We
my
love-
gosh.
Well,
I
Oh,
know
dang.
him.
how many times we watched it during Christmas. Okay.
Did you guys call each other till you were watching it?
No, we just do.
This isn't set up. This is real.
Heather and I are.
I
We're
got
there.
you, girl. I got you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, love you.
And if you don't like Elf, then you're a cotton-headed ninny muggins. So,
That's right.
and we're recording this in February, so
we're a little past that. We get a little off.
Oh.
Okay,
can
get
I
back on
ask
our
some questions about
Yes.
skin?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, what is it? No, I'm just kidding. Skin,
I say we record how many
Do you like
episodes? I'm not
pizza?
here to
I know.
ask what it is.
but I do want to prove myself. It is the largest organ
Yeah,
of the body.
Absolutely.
And
It is our first level of defense.
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
Think of our skin
True.
as having its own little biosphere, that it's its own little rainforest. There is all kinds of bacteria.
Mhm.
There is dead skin, live cells. There is, think of hair, like little tree follicles.
Mhm.
And so there's an own little biosphere going on there. And if you mess up and you tip that biosphere, then you're going to have skin
Hmm.
problems.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think for someone like me, is it too late now to say sorry? No,
No.
sorry. Okay, the biggest thing
That one was a little cringy.
that was sorry guys. Like I didn't know where to go, and then I just went there.
Shout out
sorry.
to JB.
But okay, I am not someone like that Like, I care what I look like, but I kind of don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of people that might be like that. And I'm not trying to get you to, like, convince me or anything. But there is one thing that I would love to solve, and that's, like, blackheads
Oh yeah.
on the nose. And who knows things about that?
I mean,
Do you do things about that?
yeah. You
Well, let Lena.
There's a
Lena
couple-
does
there's
a
a
lot of
couple-
acne clients.
there's a couple of options here. We want to get you on a skincare program that actually penetrates into the pores.
Okay.
The blackheads. And then we can do a couple of things like extractions are my favorite for the nose because it takes a while and it's not the most painless process in the world. Once you get going for a couple, it's kind of a pain. And then hydrofacial.
Yes.
The hydrofacial machine, you book a hydrofacial, there's a point in there where it's the extractions. We take the sucky, oh my God, I would hear that. I call it, when I explain this to my clients, this is what I do. I call it the sucky.
Okay. I was wondering why.
And I am just now noticing how bad that's.
I'm sure there's a more clinical term for that.
But like, they all say they want the little sucky thing. And I'm like, so we're going to sucky the blackheads.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I think that most men like you, they're not going to come in for a treatment. Even
I'm
our
not going for eyelashes.
Well, even teenage
Not me.
boys, they're hard. But you got to just cleanse your skin
Okay.
with something other than dial soap. And
What if I don't use anything? Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Look at her face.
if you're not using
Look at her face.
nothing?
I knew this. I said beforehand I'm going to sound
Okay,
like
sorry.
right?
Sorry.
No, I want those
I
reactions.
say we're
Okay.
not judging.
Yeah,
We're,
yeah.
but we're silently
care.
judging.
yeah.
I don't care.
You need to
but-
start at step one and at least do something at home. If your pores are getting impacted like that, they're not going to get unimpacted if you just don't do anything.
Or if you use
And so
dial
if you
soap.
start out with a salicylic or a mandelic cleanser that's designed for acne,
Mandelic.
Yep.
See, it's in the
Mandela
name.
cleanser.
So it must
And-
work for men.
and then you must add a serum or some type of product that's going to treat that as acne. And so either a salicylic or a mandelic, and at least dissolve the pores. And that's
the gunk in the
the
pores.
gunks in the pores.
Yeah.
And that's, your step one. Most men are not going to come in for regular treatments,
Mhm.
but if they are worried about that, they are at least get on some kind of program at home
Yeah.
that's going to make them smaller.
Yeah, even just
Mm.
like your gentle cleanser,
cleanse 'em.
right? And then come in every now and then for a hydrofacial and
Yes.
suck all the stuff out of the pores.
Because we do have a lot of men that do come in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's where I would start. My teenage boys, football players, basketball
Swimmers, too.
players.
Mhm.
Swimmers
of
need
that.
the like
Oh, because the chlorine dries your skin out.
and the hair. Apparently, hairs slow you down.
Yeah, a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
them wax or shave.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mhm.
swimmers wax or shave. Almost all of them wax or shave.
Yeah.
I did a lot of waxing bodybuilders when I first started.
Oh.
I-
And same thing there. They don't want, hair showing out of their little
If you're a
itsy
runner, right?
bitsy
Banana
Teeny
hammock.
weeny.
yeah. banana hammock. And so we would wax because a lot of those men, they grow back full hair in the next
Yeah.
24 hours if they shave.
Yeah.
It always cracks me up whenever you talk about guys coming in to get a spray tan and they're like all like trying to be modest and you're like, just put it
Move your
away.
hands. Let's just get
I
it.
have a husband and boys. I've seen it all. Just move your hands.
Because they end up touching
I know.
and then their hands are all tanned and it's like very obvious.
guys
It's
waited
like,
to
just
share
forget
this.
it. Just let it all hang out.
Oh,
we'll get it taken care of.
There is no
I'll
modesty
close
in
my
an
eyes.
esthetician room at all. Men or women, there's no such
No.
thing as modesty in this industry.
If
Yeah.
you think about it, though,
If
it's
we're
like,
doing you, we've already done 100 of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
look, not like I'm a believer, okay, in Jesus. And going back in time, if you believe this, then in the history of when man was created,
Mhm.
think about the skin for one.
Yeah,
It was probably awesome and smooth. Were there calluses? I don't know.
probably. They didn't have shoes.
If they were just made
yeah.
adults, I don't
Mhm.
know. But anyways, you go back to there, and they didn't cover up, and they weren't ashamed or anything.
Mhm.
Like it's all just parts. And then there was a point when that it
Modesty
did
came into
become a
it, yeah.
thing, and the first piece of technology and the first piece of clothing was a leaf
Mhm.
or whatever they used to
Mhm.
cover. And so that like brings me
It's
back to
evolved,
there. Like
yeah.
it's totally evolved. And so there's just a natural thing of like, oh, we got to like somewhat
Cover.
modest,
Mhm.
you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's careers now that this career, nursing, being a doctor, everyone comes in so much. Like, I have a couple friends who are pregnant for the first time, and I'm like, well, that first OB appointment, it's a little,
Yeah.
like, be prepared.
Mm.
And so now I'm like,
And then you have those moms
You're gonna
like
have to
me
get used
that's
to it.
had 4 kids and raising 4
You don't
boys,
hide
and you just
it doesn't take long
Yep.
to quit
It does
hiding
not
your
matter.
underwear.
We don't care.
is it what?
Oh, when
do
you
I
get
follow
When you
that?
go
undressed, when
into
you
the
get
OB or
undressed.
go into the
Oh.
gyno, the first thing I used to
Yeah.
do, hide my underwear. Like, for some reason, I think it mattered. Now,
like somebody was offended
it's
if they
sitting
saw your
right
underwear.
there on the counter. Sorry, I don't care.
That's
Same goes with like my waxing clients. I've
Yeah.
had some that like sit there and wait for me to leave. I'm like, honey, no.
I'm getting ready
Get
to see it.
undressed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay in here and get on my table. Like, it's okay. I'm not leaving. There's no modesty here. And same goes for the men.
it's
Like, there's no-
context, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like when you know that you're going to get that done, then the context is
And then
that's
after
not modest.
like
or
the second
no modesty
one,
or
they're no
whatever.
longer hiding their underwear in my chair or putting it under the pillow. Like, they're like, they know I'm not searching. I'm not gonna go over there and search for your underwear. See what underwear you have on today.
Hey, thought
Yo.
is why don't you guys make some logoed underwear?
I mean, that would be
Uh,
cool.
okay.
Like the disposable underwear or just
Just regular
non-disposable?
ones,
Just
like, sell
regular.
'em.
Okay.
Our AA Skin
With-
Babes undies.
Yeah. With our little sayings on them.
Good thing I'm pretty because I'm not very smart. On the back of my underwear, yeah, that'd be so cute. So hot. I'm taking that one off for you.
I'm buying it for my wife.
What's the blue bell?
Oh my gosh.
Now let's enter into a therapy session here.
Uh-oh.
How do you really feel? We laugh, but is it okay?
Okay to laugh or
I think life, if we didn't go through a day without laughing,
Yeah.
I think Eric would think there's something wrong with us.
Mhm.
Because every day in the when Heather and we're working in the med spa, we are always cracking jokes. We're always laughing. You got to a couple months back, we posted that video of you coming in the room when we first did the talk ticks or the
Yep.
TikToks, and it's if you don't have fun when you go to work, then what's worth going?
And speaking
Especially
of-
when you're working in our
I say
industry
the
where you're seeing
burnout
people
for our
every
industry
single
is
day.
huge.
Yeah.
So
But
if you
speaking-
can't keep it fun,
Like speaking of therapy, people do actually come in and like this is their 1 hour
That they
where
get to talk.
there's no husband, no kids, no
Mm.
work, no stress. And they do sometimes treat that as their therapy
Mhm.
session. And we
Mm.
really do become connected to our clients and
We
they
care.
become friends and family
I think
with
that's part of
us.
the payoff as an esthetician.
Yeah.
That connection you make with your clients is so like kind of keeps you like, oh, I'm so excited she's coming in today. You know?
Yeah. It's like your Botox is this amount, but therapy's free.
Yeah.
So.
So I know that there were some things that I started learning too as I was walking around. You guys were kind of showing me sorry, I say you guys, but I think about that now every time. But you guys, when I say you guys, I just mean
Us.
plural and like whatever. So when I was walking around, I was finding some stories there's deeper impact behind a lot of this. And like we treat it like it's just cosmetic. And
Mhm.
sometimes it kind of is, right? But at the same time, it's about the feeling or it's about the,
Mhm.
what do you call it? The dignity.
Mhm.
And then some people, you said, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is some people are cancer patients who like need to
Yep.
really get some dignity back based on how things
Yep.
were affected in certain areas.
Yep.
And I thought that was just really cool that you guys really help. Sorry, now I'm like overthinking it.
But I mean,
But,
you're right.
yeah.
Like skin conditions, prior cancer patients or people going through just something rough in their life, I mean, it just.
Or people that like, I have a really good friend. I'm sure she's fine. Brett. You guys know Brett Mumon.
Yes.
Love her. She's got.
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
So she contacted me and she's postpartum a while, but she's like, I've never had acne before in my life. Like I've
Mhm.
never had this.
Mm.
And she's like, can you help me? Like I've never been I'm broke out. And I'm like, yeah, because hormones change everything.
Mhm.
Someone who has never had acne and never worried about it, all of a sudden they have acne and they're so insecure about it, and
Mhm.
I've never been insecure about my face in my life. Like I've
Hmm.
never had acne, and then she comes in, we do a series of peels. Her acne's gone, and it was all hormonal. So like that hormonal change that she's going through, and whenever you clear up, she's like, I feel so much better. I'm like, that makes me feel so good.
Well,
Like
and I think with
as
some
your
of our
provider.
teens is the same way. Is
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
teen girls can be so hard on each other, especially junior high freshman year,
Yeah.
and they can make fun of each other, and
Yeah.
acne at that age can be very detrimental to their self-esteem, and it's hard to know how to treat teenage acne because too harsh of a medication is going to cause their skin to just peel and be on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got oral medications that sometimes there's more side
Mhm.
effects than there is. You look at the side effects and it's like, oh my gosh.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so getting them on a facial program or a treatment program that's a little milder, we're teaching them as we go along because we're not just spending 20 minutes in a doctor's office.
Right.
They're spending an hour with us, every 3 to 4 weeks. And we can sit there and talk to them. And sometimes these teenagers will open up with us and tell us how bad their friends are making fun of them and this and that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we can sit and visit with them and this is just part of growing up.
I
Yeah.
always hated
And
it
you'll
when
be
there's
all
one
right.
right in the middle of your forehead.
I
Yes,
know.
Yeah.
your third
Like a
eye.
bullseye.
Yeah.
And kids would treat it like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started
so-
getting into a little bit of not like a little bit of makeup just to like touch up some things
Mhm,
here and
mhm.
there sometimes.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
Like concealer.
Yeah.
And football
Is it called
pads.
concealer or
Yeah,
sealer?
it is.
Okay.
Concealer. Good
Concealer.
job.
Yep.
Okay.
Teenagers, football team. I had several football guys come in this year, and it was that had like ingrown hairs
Mhm.
in their butt crack, different things like that. That we had several that I treated,
Mhm.
and they were so much better by the end of the year. And also, football pads can cause you to break out real bad. And
Mm.
even though mom and dad say wash your football pad, spray it off with disinfectant, they're not going to do it. But if
Yeah.
we say, okay, this is what's causing your acne, you need to do this, more than likely they're going to do it
They're
if they
going to
want to
listen
cause.
to us.
Even
Yeah.
if you do it though, wouldn't there still be potential for reactions just because of like the mineral that it is or whatever, like the fabric and the
Sure.
plastic, and it's just rubbing and you're
Mhm.
sweating and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's just things that we can do that just help that,
Nice.
to help prevent it a little
Yeah.
bit.
And I think
Yeah.
we're kind of unique because in this industry, sometimes other med spas don't want to get along with each other just because they're afraid of competition. We're not.
that's what I loved
No.
about you all.
We
Yeah.
See, I
reach
said you all
out
this time.
to other med spas, and if they need our help, we will, help them out however we can. We have made good connections with dermatologists. We've got several hormone doctors that we work with, and we really try to support each other.
Yeah. I mean, I think it just takes, like you say, like having kids, it takes a village to raise your kids. I mean, having your own business too. I mean, it takes a village to,
Yeah, you can learn a lot from someone else,
yeah.
and somebody else's process may be working better than ours.
Mhm.
And I want to know what they're doing so that we can serve our clients
And
to
be
the
better.
best. And I'm
Yeah.
going to share that with other places too.
Yeah.
And so I'm not worried about other med spas pulling our clients away because
Mhm.
That's
me, that's not a
scarcity
problem.
mindset too.
Yeah.
And as I've been getting into it, I finally switched to that because it was like, man, I don't want to share all the ideas and stuff because someone else is going to steal it.
Yeah.
But then I started having an abundant mindset and like, wait, hold on. This is a mission that's bigger than just me getting dollars.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I want impact. I want re-education, good information. Like there's a lot of bad content out there. I want to be able to partake in those people that have helped people have more fulfilling lives because of the content that we capture. And you know what? If someone else wants to take that and do it too, then
Sure.
awesome. The mission is accomplished even more,
We can all learn
So-
from
Yeah.
each other.
And the way I look at it is because we've had some wonderful estheticians work with us, and if we can take an esthetician or another practitioner from being a newbie come with us. We train them, we work with them, and then they're able to step out and start their own business. That is just a compliment.
Mhm.
And I mean, we've got some wonderful ones that have stepped out and started their own practice. And so,
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
be bitter or angry about that. You can just be feel accomplished and be proud of them.
And I always feel kind of weird when I see like other injectors and they consider themselves or call themselves a master injector. I mean, I don't feel like that's ever something that you completely master. I mean, I feel like
You
you can
always
be
have to learn.
really good at it, but
We're always learning.
I'm always learning. I
This
always
is an
want
industry
to
where
learn.
trends are
Yeah.
constantly changing. They're always finding better ways to do procedures.
Yeah.
What if that's part of being a master, though? Is
Well,
adapting.
in the end,
Yeah.
it is. But
But I feel like some injectors just consider themselves, maybe they've been doing it for 3 or 4 years and they just think that they're the best. And that's great. I mean, I don't want to take away from them
Like,
at all.
confidence is cool, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
but it's
I
like,
have to interject.
yes.
Remember when you had that training with Dr. Nassif and he canceled it?
I do remember that. And you
I
were
am
so
still
upset.
hurt.
So
think-
just to let everybody know, there was a cadaver
I wanted to go with her
training
so
that I
bad.
was going to do.
I would have pretended I was dead.
Yep. So I was supposed to do that back in November.
Yes.
And the hurricanes came through Florida and destroyed kind of that
How dare
area. I know, Mother Nature. But I was going to go and do this cadaver course with Dr. Nastiff off of the TV show Botched.
Have you ever watched the TV show Botched?
Well,
it is
she
great.
is
is-
that who that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did I not make the connection?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
I was like, whenever we
He
used the Dr.
is a
Nassif
master.
booster, I was like,
Yeah.
he looks so like his flyer. I was like, he looks so familiar, and I
Uh-huh.
never put
And
it together
I
until right now.
love
Yeah.
his
And
booster
I-
with the hydrofacial.
Yep.
That's my favorite.
So it's.
I
it
know what a
is gonna
cadaver
be-
is,
uh-huh.
but Lena doesn't. So can you say it for Lena?
So, like maybe a body that's been donated to science.
oh,
So it is an actual
Dead body.
dead
Dead
body.
body. And
yeah.
she was
And that's the thing. So, like,
face
we
filler.
can practice on each other.
you can use my body.
yes.
for science.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, or
Um,
organ donor or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. I love
exactly.
that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So practicing, actually feeling the tissue because it's different using, like a model head that's
oh
silicone
yeah,
and that's not real tissue. You can actually dissect part of the tissue back, the skin back and see the vessels and, where blood flow and everything like it. That
Right.
is. So when certain areas, there's tons of danger zones. And
Mhm.
I don't feel like anybody's a master because anatomy is, it's not always the same for everyone. So there could be hidden vessels in there that you get. And
Yeah. And so this was a specialty
It
training,
was, yeah.
a master training that she was
Yeah.
going to.
I was really
and,
excited and it got
Dr.
canceled.
Nassif is one of my idols. I think he's so good at what he does.
Yes, you do.
And
I think that he's
so,
so good at what he
I was as disappointed for her as she was. And so
you get to
hopefully you can get
go-
that
It's very-
rescheduled.
Yeah, do you
So
get to
yes,
go?
hopefully they're supposed to be rescheduling it. I thought sometime this summer. So fingers crossed they're supposed to let me know. But yeah,
I mean,
I was
that's
really
that's
excited.
pretty prestigious to be able to go to one of those trainings.
yeah.
And we are very
Prestigious.
proud of
Yeah.
our very own Heather for being able to go.
Thanks, guys. But that's the
Does
thing.
anybody
I
ever
will
call you
never.
Heather?
No.
Oh, I can mispronounce your name too, like I do Laura's.
Right.
Heather.
Heather. But I just don't think that anybody should ever just not want to keep trying to get better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
none of
think
us are
they're at
perfect.
the top
Right.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
maxed
Nobody's
out on
perfect.
knowledge.
I'm always looking for new and improved and better ways and
Yeah.
keeping up with the times and
So it's instead of like a point of growth for my mindset was like instead of saying I know all the time,
Yep.
I just say interesting,
exactly.
Mhm.
See, that's maturing and growing as a person.
interesting.
He says that to us a lot.
Right.
I say,
Now
I
you
do
say
I.
that.
I wish we need
It doesn't
to count
mean don't
how many times
I
he says that during
know.
our
Now I'm
sessions.
gonna
You may
pay
have to
closer
realize
attention.
he's working with a bunch of women that read into little details
Yep.
here.
Yeah. There's other women I work with too. Honestly, like I should see if they can be a guest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
We love to have them.
I think just us learning from you too. Like we were so
We went to
naive
you
to
to
this
learn how to
whole
make an
thing.
Does
Instagram
anyone
video.
remember our first podcast?
oh
and
my
how
gosh. We were a
long it took us
disaster.
to do our very first episode because we kept
Yeah.
having And then the very
So-
first time Jared actually sat with us and was trying to like teach us how to keep going, and no, he was start the conversation. He's like, anyone can jump in now, like jump in, like jump
We've
in,
had
and
some
we're also
practice
nervous,
sessions.
and we're
It
also
was-
nervous,
So
and now
listen,
it's just
I,
natural.
feel.
I do think that I threw you into the deep end a little bit because I was just like, all right, go. Like
Yeah.
I try to prep, but the best way to learn is to just jump in.
Yeah.
And what you didn't know was I knew that those were going to be practice rounds. But if you know it's practice, then you don't really do it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like your cadaver thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, yeah, I wanted you to really jump in. And then I saw it in you. I knew you had it in you, Lena, specifically, because when we did our strategy session, that's why I was like, a podcast has to be it because of the clips you get from it. So it conquers your social media. And then you can carry a conversation real well and just be curious. And then I like the interactions and everything. But anyway, so I threw you into the deep end.
He did, and I
And-
was sweating through my shirt that day. Like I was sweating through
She
my
was a
shirt.
mess.
Yeah.
I was so nervous, and I was like, I can't do this.
And then he turns off the camera and we're just going at it
Yeah.
and just
And
talking
then he's
and
like,
talking
what
and
are you
talking.
doing?
He's like,
Like,
this is
girl.
podcast information.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like-
that's our breaks all
Wait
the
till we're
time.
rolling.
That's one of the hardest things. Like if I ever go and film an interview and then I stop recording, then it's like, boom, there's all the good info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the conversation after. And so I really try to make that part of what's in the camera instead. But I don't know if you remember, I jumped in on an episode on one of the practice ones.
Yeah.
But what ended up
yeah.
happening was I started like steering it in this weird direction. I was
And-
like,
and we were like,
they're
yeah,
not liking
And
this.
we were so new to this, and like I hadn't even made a video of me talking on any of my social medias. I was too scared to talk to the camera, and
Mm.
so that's also a good thing about this podcast is because now I make
TikTok.
I make TikToks that are like I have my SD Talk Tuesday. I have like I'm not afraid to talk to my camera anymore. And then that makes this so much more natural now.
Mm.
Like this used to feel staged because we were just waiting for the other person to get done talking and we are like looking at each other, and now it's so much more
Long
natural.
silences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I don't know what to talk about now. And then I just like stare at Jared scared.
I know.
I was like
And then you're like, I don't
staring
know
at
where to go from here. And I'm like, you were going somewhere really good. I was praying for you there. Help her. Help her.
Well, and I think you've done a great job
I
of,
do.
teaching us something that we don't
Yeah.
know because we did not
We-
know. Heather and I
especially
were
you
like,
and I.
what's a podcast? And then Lena started getting into it and it's like, oh, okay, well, that could be fun. It gets us, we were just trying to find a reason to get out of the office for a day and
Yeah,
And
thanks for driving
make
out.
our stuff more fun.
Yeah.
Like our social media more fun and more us.
And everybody's always so excited about it. I mean, they're just always like, I just love watching your podcast. And that makes you feel good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's a little bit of like a showstopper thing. It's like, I have a podcast.
Oh.
It could suck, but you could be like, I have a podcast
That's
on my
true.
business card.
that's true.
You know, there's something about it.
Yeah.
And then I really saw it start working too, just because of like, okay, how many times as a business owner do people say like, you should be posting on social media?
All
You
the
should be
time.
posting on
Yeah.
social media. You should be posting on,
Yeah.
and it's like kind of annoying. And then you're like, I don't know how, or I don't want to, or like, man, that's too much to keep up. I can't really do it.
that's where we were.
That's where we were. I
Yeah.
was worn out. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to make the right videos. There was just I knew what needed to be there, but I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's when I called him and I was like,
Help.
I know what I need to be doing, but I don't know how to do it.
And
Yeah.
you were already doing some good stuff. Like
She
you
was
and
doing-
you and some of the other team was
Yeah.
like putting out some pretty good stuff. But we're in a both and world and needing more consistency. And it was like, imagine if you just walk in, have a conversation, talk about things that you love talking about,
Yeah.
and then you leave, and then your social media is conquered.
Yeah.
And so that was like the primary
Yeah.
thing.
And
And
we
I
would
love it.
recommend Jared 100 times.
100
over.
times,
If
yeah.
anyone is looking for,
He has saved my life.
100?
yes, we
Yes,
love you.
We love it.
That's a lot.
And we think you have done an absolutely amazing job.
Well,
You're super
thanks.
talented.
Yes.
Thanks.
So-
Next week I'm fired. No.
to make
And
something
we're
out
done.
of us and keep us.
I think this
All straightened
podcast
out.
was the best thing we ever did.
Yeah, I agree.
I think and without him, we never would have
Yeah.
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
even been in the works.
I'm
know.
excited to see where it goes because so much potential with this kind of format and everything. And like this could become another tranche of your business
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like another way for income once it gets popular enough. So guys, please like and share this because it's a great and easy way to support the AA Skin Babes Unfiltered here. So when you share it, share a clip, things like that, making comments, just participating. It's one of the easiest, fastest way to
To
help.
support our business.
The
Support them.
cheapest way to
Yeah.
support our business.
Yeah.
This is 100% free.
Yeah.
To just like, comment, share, tell your
And-
friends about us.
Yeah. And just kind of like other businesses in our industry, if you want to come on and have a conversation with us, reach out to us. Other med spas in the Kansas City area, practitioners, we'd love to see what we can do and promote you too.
I say now, on that note, I think we are kind of out of time for today.
I think we were out of time a while ago.
No, we got more time. I'm just kidding. No. I gave extra time just to like chat with them. And so it's been an honor to be able to be here and to be on this part of the camera.
I say
It's
this
fun.
is the guy
Yeah.
behind the camera
Yes.
every
Yep.
single episode.
And
Yep.
I've had several clients reach out
Mhm.
and want to know who produces our podcast.
Yeah.
Well, here it is. If you want his information, I'll grab some business cards and take him to the shop with us, and we'll hand them out to you.
We'll set up some sort of referral thing.
Take us to a steak
Okay.
dinner, dude.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
man.
Steak. Hey, when you signed on, that was a huge impact for my business because also 2 other people just happened to sign on that same day.
Oh,
It was crazy.
nice.
It was so crazy. My business coach is like, "How will you celebrate after every win?"
Uh-huh.
But this one was like a 3x win. So I was like, "Okay, we're going big. Rose, we're getting a nice steak dinner." We went to Gordon Ramsay place and
Yes.
Oh my
gosh.
It was
Oh,
hands down
I
best
He
love
steak
took,
I've ever
he
had.
took her out.
Oh,
It's like it was one of her bucket list things, so it felt special for me to even
Yes.
like
Yes.
share that experience.
Well,
Yes.
when she is feeling a little bit more like getting out and wanting some time to pamper, she needs to
Come say hi.
come in and
Okay,
get
we need
pampered.
to talk.
Yep.
We'll get her set up.
Yep.
All right. Well, we want to give a huge thank you to Jared for being with us
Yes,
today.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
got-
The honor's mine.
Social medias for you.
Okay, at JT Visuals without the I because there's more than meets the I. So that's JTVSUALS. JT
Nice.
Visuals. There's no space. There's no underscore. It's just JT
I
Visuals.
just caught
I
that though.
know,
Like
me
it took me a
too.
couple
Never
seconds
know
to
that.
what you said. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
can-
really introduce myself a lot.
Okay.
to
But when I
like
when
that.
I search JT Visuals, I put the I in there. He still comes up.
Oh,
Yeah, because I was trying to conquer that.
okay.
It's trying to conquer that, and it still gives you results based on with the I.
Yeah.
I always joke, it's like, hey, we found the I, you know. or like-
And check out some of you got other podcasts going.
Oh,
Check
yeah.
out some of his other podcasts.
Yeah,
Follow
we're
him
becoming-
on TikTok now.
we're
I saw
becoming
ya.
a
I found
channel.
you. I went to TikTok and I found you right off.
Nice.
I am
And I
so
wasn't even
proud of
trying. I just
you.
Nice.
She
accidentally
figured out how to
pushed the
search on
app.
TikTok.
Well, we're going to collab on some of these clips in this episode, too.
Yes.
So
Oh, cool.
Perfect.
All right, and then we got Heather. Your socials?
Midwest Aesthetics Injections by Heather is my Facebook. And then I'm also on the Amazingly Ageless Facebook and website.
She doesn't have TikTok or Insta.
I don't.
She's not
Too
I think
late.
you have Insta, you
I
just don't
know.
know it.
I have Insta,
I've
but I
seen her.
don't really
What-
use it.
I
She
think it
has
cross
it.
poaches.
Y'all, I'm
Yeah.
old.
You
We
should
know,
start
we
using
know.
it.
My baby just turned 21. I'm old.
But you're amazingly ageless.
Yes, you are.
True.
All right, Kristen, where's your socials? Where do we all find you?
Amazingly Ageless Med Spa, Facebook, Instagram, AA Skin Babes group page, and then also TikTok. What else
The
do we
AA
got?
Skin Babes on TikTok.
And then of course YouTube.
And then so
And I think we have a Twitter somewhere. I'm not really sure.
Okay. You guys have Twitter. I think you have
we have Instagram threads. Threads.
you have Threads.
What is
you have Blue
Threads?
Sky, I think, right?
It's
What is
like
Blue
Twitter
Sky?
for Insta.
What's
Threads
a,
is basically
what's a
just
Blue
Twitter
Sky?
for
I know
Insta.
we're on Spotify.
Blue-
Okay, we're
Yeah.
on.
Spotify. Yeah, all
We're
the
on
things.
Spotify,
Hey, did you know-
Amazon,
wait.
Apple Pod.
Yeah, sorry. I was wanting to reveal this to you, too. You're
Oh.
actually on a lot more than that.
Oh,
Those
Oh.
are just the
Are
popular
you like
ones.
pimping us out?
Oh,
And
I
we
just-
didn't even know.
Yeah. The most exposure you can get, the better.
Okay.
And so, like, you want to put it all out there. And yeah, like, different platforms hit differently. And that's when you got to practice platforms and culture. But you just pick your focus group.
Well, let me tell
And
you
your
what.
focus is
He is
YouTube
doing all
Shorts.
this. I mean, he does
Thank
all of
goodness.
this. Thank goodness, because I would not be able to figure it out.
No.
So if you're thinking of getting in to start a podcast or needing some stuff done,
In the local KC
this
area,
guy
or if you're not
has
local.
saved me
Yeah.
a lot. And
Yep.
so we'll work on the fun videos, and then he's going to work on the clips. Because I don't know half the stuff that he's doing. I'm just appreciative he's doing it and not me.
You're the best kind of client.
We just do what we're told.
More
We're
people like
just-
you.
Yeah.
More people
Yeah.
like you.
Be here to record this date
Yeah.
this time. That's all
But
we
the thing
need.
I wanted to say is
Yes.
like on the podcast platforms, you are on Spotify, you
Okay.
are on Apple Podcasts, YouTube it has its like a playlist that's podcasts. You're on there because it was Google Podcasts and then all the weird stuff. Amazon Music is technically it, but also if you're on Amazon Music, you're on Audible.
Oh, we're on
We're on
Audible.
So you're on
I
Audible.
listened to Audible. I didn't know that.
So when you're listening to your favorite books, swing on over to the podcast.
That is
Oh,
cool. I love
Nice.
Audible.
I
So-
love it.
I do too.
Learn
I drive an
something new
hour
every
to and from work at night. I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Yep.
Me too.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, I think that is all we have time for today. So we will talk to you guys on our next week. We record release weekly, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You've been pretty darn consistent
Yep.
with weekly. There was one hiccup just with sicknesses.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so and we release every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Wednesdays at 11 is the right now. I don't like promising that because we try to test it and measure
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Leave us a comment, review, a rating. Turn on our notifications so you know when we post, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
And keep on
Bye.
keeping on. That's my
I
closer.
know, I forgot.